Now, news update from Iran. Top negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has issued a sharp warning to Washington. In a tweet, Ghalibaf said the era of one-sided deals is over, adding Tehran had warned the US to keep its word or pay the price. He says reality is now knocking on Washington's door. The statement, of course, comes amid escalations in tension between Iran and the US, with Ghalibaf earlier accusing Washington of multiple violations of the Memoranda of Understanding, including strike sanctions and attacks on southern Iran. Tehran has maintained it will not back down under pressure. Let's take some more breaking news updates. Now, Iran's army spokesman Brigadier General Amir Akraminia has issued a fresh warning to the US. He said Americans must comply with the terms of the memorandum signed between the two nations. Akraminia says American intervention to create an illegal route in the Strait of Hormuz has caused insecurity in the region. He added that Iran's armed forces will authoritatively defend the rights of the Iranian people in the strait. The army spokesman also warned that the target bank of Iran's armed forces is being constantly updated, signaling continued military readiness amid rising tension with Washington. Iran, their view, is firm on its resolve that it will continue with its retaliation to US violation of the agreement that was arrived upon. Both countries, of course, continue to blame each other for the violation of the ceasefire, and what we are now looking at is once again a disruption in the global supply chain routes, and US, of course, urging that the Strait of Hormuz remains open for operation. And joining me now is my colleague from the newsroom, Hina Sharma, with some more updates on this. Hina, take us through the statements that are coming in from Iran in greater depth, and what is it that the country is saying in its resolve?
Right, Preeti, this is yet another warning by Iran. Iran's, this time, army spokesperson Brigadier General Amir Akramiya has in fact put out a statement saying that Americans must comply with the terms of memorandum that was signed between the two nations. Remember, from Donald Trump's side, it is clear that the deal is end, and now from Iran's side, Iran is pushing for United States to comply with the MOU that was signed. Remember, one of the key demands that Iran continues to put out is that the Strait of Hormuz control should and must remain with Iran, but United States is not complying with that. The spokesperson also, in fact, went on to say that American intervention is only creating an illegal route in the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, this also comes at a time, Kriti, when multiple ships are coming under attack. Remember, nobody is taking responsibility for the attacks that are taking place in the Strait of Hormuz, but it is a condition that continues to remain volatile as of now. Back to you.
Thanks, Hina, for those updates. General Savaj is also joining us on this now. General, what is your assessment of the status quo at this point in time? There are several statements coming in from Iran, especially after the funeral of Ali Khamenei, where the leaders and the sons of Khamenei have said that they are going to take revenge for the killing of the supreme leader. Amidst that, these retaliatory strikes on the Gulf countries from Iran, what is the position that the United States is left in?
You know, no denying the fact that this was a very poorly drafted MOU. First of all, the Article 5 of MOU says that basically the Iran will be regulating the flow of the traffic in Strait of Hormuz. And now there is a different perception on either side. Iran says that they can control the Strait of Hormuz. They will only give the designated route. Whereas the US is saying that that does not mean that you will regulate it. The ships are free to move to the routes which they select themselves. So therefore, there is a difference of opinion. But having said that, now the way Iran has hit on the 3 commercial ships, that is the starting point, and that's how the Americans then hit them back on the 80 targets, basically very close to Strait of Hormuz, and then Iran also responded in Kuwait and also Bahrain, and thereafter the Americans strike another 90, including they have hit now the mainland of Iran, where basically the railway line going from Iran to Mosul. And thereafter now we are finding it Iran is again striking back on this, basically the Gulf country. Now, what will happen now? Will the war start again? To me, it looks the war will not start again. Such type of environment will remain tit for tat, no war, no peace. But why war will not start? Because the Americans don't want war to start. The Donald Trump don't want to get involved into this war again. Remember that popularity of Donald Trump is going down. The public mood is against this war. There are midterm election, and same way Iran also does not want. Iran economic condition is not too good, because with this MOU it is tilted toward Iran. They were getting 3 things. One, that all sanction will be removed. Their assets which were frozen will be also released in a phased manner. And third thing is $300 billion will be invested in Iran to make sure that rehabilitation take place. So as far as Iran is concerned, I think it was tilted toward Iran. And I still feel that America does not want this war to again start, because there is a public opinion against it. So therefore, chances of this war again restarting are less. However, the situation will remain volatile, and Strait of Hormuz by and large will remain under the control of Iran, and this will make a tremendous impact as far as the world economy concerned. You find the fuel, food, fertilizer rates will go again high. That is where uncertainty will prevail. In case if it opens also, the most of the tankers and commercial ships will be in doubt that they can be targeted when they are going. Remember, before 28th February, the more than 100 ships used to go, basically tankers mainly. And now there are only not more than 12 to 13. So therefore, there is again drop which has taken place by this action which has been done by Iran. And if that happens, you find the oil rates again shooting up, going more than $100 per barrel. And if that happens, you remember what will happen. Will the Israel get involved in this? Will Israel want this war to start again? Obviously, Israel wants this war to again start, because Netanyahu, his own interest is that if the war remains on, then the chances of his winning elections, which are there in September, October, are very high. And if he otherwise loses, he can be put behind the bar for corruption charges. So there, all actors and characters are acting differently. But remember, Israel will do what America will say.
Yes, General, thank you very much for your assessment of the situation. For now, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us. And we was slipping into a commercial, and we'll be right back.